Hey, my magical friends. Welcome to another Witchful Ways podcast episode. I am Annika, offering you insight, guidance, tools to live a magical life every single day. Now, I've always said before that when you begin your practice, no matter what it is, things are going to morph and change, right? As time moves along, we dive into one thing that we feel very connected to at the moment or in that moment in time. Maybe that's learning about crystals. Maybe that's learning about herbs. Maybe that's learning about lunar magic. Maybe that's learning about opening up your intuition. No matter what it is, it seems like most people, and I always encourage people to choose one topic, one thing, and focus on that and dive into it. And first, that's going to say, is this something that I'm really interested in, right? Like, we don't want to learn things just because we're supposed to learn them, right? Or that it's in the curriculum. We want to learn things because it's going to add to our practice. It's going to add to our spirituality. It's going to add to our contentment in our everyday life, right? It's going to add value. We don't waste time doing things just because we feel like we're supposed to do them. You need to be connecting with them. So first, it'll give you that. Like, I'm not big on astrology. I like certain things about it, and the certain things that I like about it, I dive into and learn more about. But the other parts of it, I take it or leave it, right? I find it interesting. I'll listen and conversate with people that are interested in it, but I don't personally feel the pull or the desire to dive deep and learn into it, right? Maybe you do, and that's fine. But we all have those things that pull to us immediately where we go, oh, I've got to learn everything that I can about this. And that is amazing because then you become a master of that. So if you're really pulled to the element of water and you just love water and everything about it and all the different emotions that it can make you feel, then you should learn elemental magic and have water as your primary element, right? Learn to master that so that you can use it to empower and enrich your life. But there's going to come a point where you go, oh my gosh, fire has just captured my attention right now, right? And everything's going to shift into the primary focus being, let me learn more about this new, subject that I have found myself drawn to. That's what it's all about. So things morph and change, and things ebb and flow as well. So if you take 3 months and all of a sudden you realize, wow, I have not lit a candle in 3 months, or if candle magic is your thing, or if you normally light a candle for the full moons, or whatever it is, and you go, man, I haven't done it in 3 months. I am such a bad practitioner, naughty witch. And that's not the case. It's that you're in an ebb and flow where sometimes we feel like we really need to dive in. We feel like we're really connected. We feel like everything's falling into place. And then other times we're going to need to pull back a little bit and take care of our physical, right? More than the spiritual. Or maybe you're emotional more than you're spiritual. You guys know I always say when you focus on one thing, it has to pull energy and focus from something else, right? And that's fine. And everybody goes through it. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I haven't done this. Or you start, maybe find some new and exciting course, or something, and you start on it and then you realize it's been, a month and you haven't looked at it again. But all of a sudden you dive back into it and you finish the whole rest of it, right? It's that ebb and flow. It happens. Now, the other aspect of that is something that I've been going through over the last year. And this is a real transformation in my own life and businesses. As you guys know, last July, I came across a different business model, completely unrelated to metaphysical magic or witchful ways. And I dove into that and I pulled away from witchful ways because I knew that I was going to need that time to be able to do that, right? To be able to focus and set up this other business that I set up and run successfully now, right? So I knew I was going to have to pull focus away from here. So rather than trying to cheat the new business or my new endeavor by trying to still give focus to something else, I let that flow away. for the time being. And like I told you in my welcome back one, right? It's like you never really lose it. You never lose your practice. You never lose your belief system. It's always still there and rooted within you. You just tend to acknowledge and practice it in a different way. So during this time as well, I was able to take a step back from being in the magical and metaphysical community. And when I came back, there were a couple things that I noticed, and some of those things will be in future podcast episodes. But one of the major things that I noticed was that there is such a shift that has happened with people and understanding, which I'm super excited about, understanding that everybody's practice is their own. There is nothing that is written in stone anywhere that says that this is what you need to be doing, to be practicing, or to call yourself a witch, or to label yourself whatever it is that you want to label yourself, right? You do you, witchy poo. And I'm super excited that this has finally come around, because 5 years ago, it wasn't like that. There were what we call, or maybe it was, 5 to 8 years ago, there was what we called witch wars, where people were going after other people because they weren't practicing this way and blah, blah, this and that. And that's all in the past. So I've realized that I break it down to the absolute fundamental practice of my spirituality, of my successful manifesting, of my witchcraft. And that is being totally in touch and in tune and open to intuition, how to understand it, what it is, how to connect to it, how to connect with your guides and spirit. And that is what I'm going to morph Witchful Ways into. So over the next 8 weeks, I'm actually going to be taking a little bit of a step back and going to be making a new plan, if you will, for myself moving forward in business plan. And I will, of course, be sharing that with you. I'm actually really excited about the change, again, because when we realize that our magical practices are all based in our understanding of magical theory, right? Understanding and how we connect to everything. And if we understand how we connect to everything, then that can only mean that we can open up and understand our own abilities as our higher self. And that means through our intuition. And that, of course, allows us to live a magical life every single day. So I'm really excited to dive in. And those of you that are in the membership, starting in May, we are going to deep dive into opening up your intuition, working with psychic abilities and mediumship abilities, and connecting with spirit and understanding what signs are and who's giving what messages and all that good stuff. So again, this is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the basis of the entire process of being able to understand and incorporate your magical workings along with your intuitive abilities together, right? When we bring all of it together, it's almost like a perfect trifecta that we then can go, you know what? There's nothing that anyone can throw at me or that anyone can do to me that I cannot take control of the situation and of myself. So again, super excited about that. So we're going to be shifting gears just a little bit. Of course, we're still going to be understanding and going over and learning about the basics and the workings of witchcraft itself, because that is all part of it. But I just wanted to kind of give a little understanding of what is going on and the morph and the change and the things that are happening, so that you all stay informed and can take this amazing ride along with me. And with that, thank you for joining me again for another podcast episode. Be sure that you head over to witchfulways.com so that you can check out that free resources page and get your hands on all the witchy goodness that's over there. Lots of guides and mini courses that are available to you free. And you can also check out all the other witchy offerings I have going on. Have a wonderfully magical rest of your day. Until next time.